Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match football show on the internet. We've just come back from Turf Moor. In fact, Turf Moor's just over there. It was West Ham 2, Burnley 1. But before we get into that, boys, we need to talk a little bit about the Liverpool game last week.
Oh shit. That's the end of that.
It was crap.
That's history.
Well, we have got to talk about it. We didn't talk about it last week, but it was a poor display, wasn't it, from a poor
way to finish the season at home. But Liverpool were class on the day. You can't take that away from them. They wanted it more. Our players didn't.
Yeah, it was just a bit.
Andre Ayew's miss just before half time was massive. That cost us
crazy, weren't it?
Double miss.
Yeah, that cost us getting back in the game.
Do you think we could have went on to win it if we'd have got?
No, not to win it, but it gives us more of a fighting chance in the second half. But Liverpool are class. That's what I can say, really.
Were they that class, though, really? Honestly? It was a lacklustre performance from us.
Yeah,
were they that class?
We were poor. They was just a lot better.
I wouldn't say they were class. I mean, they were better than us, but they weren't class. You know what I mean? I've seen better at the Olympic Stadium.
What I would say is, I'm not surprised Nordveit wasn't playing today after seeing the third goal last week, because Coutinho was running like he wasn't running. He was sort of walking through everyone. And Nordveit was just jogging by the side of him.
And Ginge as well, he sort of give up, didn't he, when he took it.
I think they say play to the whistle, but I mean, I think it was a foul. It's a head injury as well. The referee should have stopped the game. I'm not making excuses. I think Coutinho sort of didn't believe his luck. He really did. When he sort of run through, he just sort of walked through like it's like a knife through butter.
Typical West Ham, though, isn't it? Don't concede for 4 or 5 games and then 4 come along at once.
But today, went to Turf Moor. Was anyone excited coming here today? It was a nothing game, weren't it?
Not really.
No, I wasn't either, to be honest. Nick, well, you only live up the road, mate.
No,
You rolled out of bed about 1 o'clock, didn't you?
it's there was nothing to play for. You know what I mean? I think they came to have an attack, though. They came for the game. You know what I mean? They came to win. You know, and.
I think both teams were having a go.
Yeah,
we played a strong team. Poor football, wasn't it? Like, when you think about it, it's just oofing it all
everyone
up.
Says there's nothing to play for, but it's what, £10 million apparently, or whatever it is. It's a lot of money.
I don't give a shit about their £10 million, mate. If they hadn't got it, I wouldn't give a fuck. We ain't going to see none of it next year. That's for fucking sure.
They're not going to spend it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't really give a shit. Look, do you want to go through the starting lineup?
Not really, mate.
I don't know.
Can you anyway?
Who was it? Adrian in goal. Same back three, wasn't it?
Well, no,
Ogbonna was back.
Fonte, Ginge.
Yeah, Ginge, Byram, right back. Creswell. Who was in mid? Lanzini. Creswell, he's making that out. He keeps saying Creswell.
Lanzini, Snodgrass.
Faguli, and then Ayew on top. Yeah, strongest team. Fernandes as well. But the sub bench was like.
It's like a school trip, wasn't it?
Kids are us, weren't it?
Who was that one that looked like a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Kemp, wasn't it?
Kemp,
yeah.
It just shows you how thin and bad our squad is at the moment. Like, we have got a lot of injuries, don't get me wrong, but to end the season
I'd like to see some of the young ones who have been scoring.
Yeah.
You got Holland. You got was it Quinola? What his name is?
Martinez has been on loan now. They can't.
He can't play.
He can't play.
He's on loan.
All right,
so that's
yeah.
part of the thing.
Well,
but it's a
Holland,
shame
because he's from Everton. He can't play. But
No, he can play.
can he play? Yeah,
he can play.
The good thing next, I think, where they won their league this year and they go up to the different division, apparently it's a lot more, and they get a lot of European games as well, so it's a lot more competitive. So I think that's going to be good for our youth. Because I don't think they're going to loan a lot of youth out on that basis. So I'm actually quite, and then they can actually come back into the team then.
Do you not find it funny though, Tom, that mentioned the youth and that we've just gone up promoted, and then our chairman mentions that he ain't going to play the bloody youth.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that actually, because that's a big, and there's going to be like a Monday Musings tomorrow, which I'm going to bring it up in. But that tweet, that's in real bad taste, isn't it? And like, you've got a lot of ex-pros. It just shows you sort of like the ripples it sent, because I remember a lot of ex-pros. I know Dean Ashton for one. Someone said to him, what sort of messages did he send out? And he turned around and said, and he knows the ins and outs of the game, he turned around and said, if I was them kids, mate, I'd be looking for a new club today.
Yeah, it don't give you hope, does it, if you're a kid at West Ham and you
But how can you say that them kids, right, you got Martinez who's scoring goals for fun in League One.
To be fair though, he wasn't, mate. He wasn't scoring that many in League One.
He scored a few.
But in the under-23s, for us, he was banging them in.
Yeah.
He done it the other night up at Newcastle.
Yeah, Cullen's moving mountains for Bradford. He's got every sort of award under the sun for them in their player awards, and he's got like a 20-man a match.
And let's be fair,
Reece Oxford for me was waste going to Reading.
Let's be fair. Beginning of the season, that Juventus game, Cullen was our best player by a mile on that pitch. But now you're telling me that Cullen isn't better than Nordveit. You're telling me that. I'm not having that. No. I'm not having it. I don't care. I don't think Nordveit was playing today, and I don't think Caleri was playing today, because I think he's given absence of leave to go and find himself new clubs. Because that's what I would be doing. I would be telling them, right, piss off, don't come back here next year. You're not wanted here. You're not good enough for this club. And like, I was starting to warm to Nordveit a little bit, but that performance last week was really put me off of him.
They definitely need a big summer clear out here. They need to get rid of players like I think you're right, Nordveit. I'd even say, I know he played all right today, but for Gooley as well, we need to strengthen the team.
Oh my God, he does my head in. I don't know what he can't. What can he do?
The thing is with Snodgrass is like he come in January, obviously settling in London and that. He's been poor, but give him a pre-season with us. He's going to be a squad player next season. He's still a decent player because we've seen it over the years.
I
know, but
we can't as a club pay £65,000 for someone that's not going to get in the team.
He should have shone by now, shouldn't he?
He should have shone. Yeah.
He should have done something.
I can't think of one good performance.
He didn't have a good game, has he? And even for Gooley, some people like for Gooley, but he does too much every game. He doesn't do it. He just plays it, keeps holding the ball. He's like a 12-year-old boy with a ball.
Yeah, for Gooley, the only good game I can remember him was last week.
I don't know.
Come on against Liverpool.
He had a good game today. He had a good game last week.
Good game today. He didn't do anything. What did he do?
Scored.
A bit diving.
Fucking hell. Yeah, but he's shit, mate. He's shit.
I think I'd keep him as a squad player. I think he produces more than what Snodgrass does. Snodgrass, I don't know what Snodgrass is doing. He's tucking inside when he should be out wide. When he's out wide, he should be inside. He's useless for me. He ain't got no pace. You see him today. He got the ball in a promising position, and the first thing he done, slipped over. He does that every week. Honestly, that's the best thing he's ever done.
That was funny when he was on the floor trying to...
They're not going to take us to the next level, are they? No. Or Snoddy. They ain't taking us to the next level. What they keep promising. So, let's be honest. Let's get rid of all of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's only 3 or 4.
You've got to think about people like Andy Carroll as well. Andy Carroll, for some reason, the club keep on lying to us about his injuries because he keeps on having these little niggles but staying out for 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, what's the last one? He's been out now for the last 4 or 5 games.
5 games. It's been 5 weeks.
A joke. Absolute joke. He's not even in the squad today.
Sacco as well. Just cut your losses with him. Let's
get rid of them all, mate. Yeah, I know this sounds really bad. We've got to think of a club now. Yeah. Let's get rid of the whole lot of them. I know. Maybe Andy Carroll. Maybe keep him as a sub.
I'd keep Carroll.
He's only got 1 year left on his deal, or 2, wherever he's got left on his deal. Keep him as a sub. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a dog-eat-dog world business, and you just got. Unfortunately, it's bad to say, you just got to get rid of them. If not, they're good enough, just get rid of them.
Are our board going to do that? Are they going to spend and get rid of half the team and reinvest and put it back in? They're going to buy 1 or 2 old has-beens, like they've always said. I'll have Zabarret all day long. You know what I mean? I will have him because I think he'll bring stability. He brings experience. The bloke's a world-class player, but they'll do that and then they'll mouth off that they're buying this, that, and the other. We ain't going to get anyone else. And we'll have 1 or 2, and that's it.
Zabaleta's a fan. If we do get Zabaleta, he's a fantastic addition to our squad, right? He's a leader. Man City fans loved him. He's a great thing. But the problem is, though, if you're going to give him £100,000 a week, his legs are going to be on. It's going to put a lot of noses up in the team, and we do not want that. I mean, they harmed Bernardo for giving Antonio his money, And if they find out Zabaleta's £100,000 a week, your squad players at West Ham we're going to have to go up to the next level, start giving these players, and we're going to give the players that we've got at the moment extra money. Are they good enough to get extra money? I don't know, mate. To be honest with you.
Well, I got an extra 10 million today, apparently, for finishing 11th. We could have. It sounded like 10 million.
10 million, wherever it was. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's £2 million a place, apparently, £1.9 million a place. Yeah. So we could have finished 16th. So we've secured an extra 10 million by winning today. Let's go to the game today. I thought we played well. We've done all right. it was a nice party atmosphere.
It was a proper end of season game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Neither team had anything really to play for.
They played to win though, didn't they? Burnley, they came at it. You know what I mean? So.
Well, their first goal, we was pretty bad first half. I'm going to say that. We didn't create much. We defended a bit shoddily. Yep. Would you say that first goal that they scored?
How much space did you have to put
God damn!
You could see it coming, couldn't you? You saw it coming about 2 minutes before when they were playing it on one side.
It reminded me a little bit of the Lanzini goal against Tottenham, where it sort of like bobbled its way through and just found him in yards and yards.
He's a decent player, though, that folks.
He's a good, strong player.
Seeing us tempt Burnley with a bid for him, you know, he's a decent player. I like him, and he's someone that I think we could attract.
He's a good striker to have as a number 3 or 4 striker. I like both. He's a good striker.
To be fair, the manager, you know what I mean, he's done well here.
Sean Dyche, he always, like, when you look at him in his shirt and tie, to me, he always looks like someone who's going to call an emergency meeting in work, like a sales meeting. He just looks angry with his tie on, like. But he's a great manager.
I'll tell you what he does do as well, and I don't know whether anyone realises today, he does influence the referees and the linesmen's decisions.
Was he on the?
He was in his ear. Like, first half especially, like he had the linesman running up and down. I remember we put in a tackle, and it was a great tackle. And he was in the linesman's ear, and then all of a sudden the linesman sort of waving his flag.
He's a rough old boy though, Dyche, you know what I mean? I think I'd change my mind
voice,
with him, you know what I mean?
You better.
You know what I mean? He's shouting it.
Fucking change your mind.
It's like Phil Mitchell walks in.
My throat.
Nah, he's done wonders at this club, and like they ain't got big budgets here. And one thing I would say though, it's the first time I've ever been to this stadium, and I really like it. It's a proper old school stadium. It's it's got that. I like that.
It reminds me of the Boleyn before we redeveloped it.
Yeah.
In the early 90s, Boleyn.
That's
what
you got 2 old stands there, didn't you?
Yeah, 2 old stands.
The old Bob Lord.
You got the chicken run on the right.
That's the old Bob Lord.
Where we were in the away fans is the old Baltimore end, and then you got the old.
Even got the wooden seats, you know what I mean? Bastards to kick off to throw at them, but
brilliant.
You know what I mean?
But I'll tell you something now. Coming to grounds like this now do make me realise how much I miss our old ground, and miss going to old grounds like that, especially when you.
I was going to say, just think when Everton ever move.
Well, you're
moving Everton. You're not going to Goodison Park. No, and that is a beautiful old ground.
It's like
you know what I mean?
It's like same as Selhurst Park, really, isn't it? That's an old-fashioned ground, and they're dying breed now.
Football's changing.
Give it 10 years, everyone's going to have a new stadium.
I'm sure these will as well. They stay in the Premier League for a couple
more
years.
That's the way the Premier League's going, mate. They want them to have 50. Unfortunately, the Premier League want every club to have 40,000-50,000. And if they can't do that, and I think they'll probably get less money. I know it sounds really bad. That's the way the Premier League's going. So,
I said, because clubs like Burnley, they've got a massive tradition, a massive history. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of fans there for a little tiny town like this. You know what I mean?
Was it 22,000?
I think there's more people going and watch Burnley than live in the town itself. You know what I mean? So it's just mad, really, when you look at statistics for this place.
Well, they'll have all the Blackburn fans coming over here next year.
League
One now.
They don't like each other. Don't nick with tennis about that. But was it 1-1 after that?
No, it was 1-0. We had a couple of chances. Went in. Who was it? For Goolin. Lovely ball. I've got to say that.
Ayew done well in that build up.
Is that we set him up? Ayew set him up.
Yeah, he played the ball through.
He had a mixed game today, didn't he, Andre Ayew? He's got that. You can see there's a good player there, but he just needs that bit of confidence.
I think he ran himself into the ground.
Yeah, he works hard today.
Ryan, I think it's the players he's playing with, mate. To be honest with you, I think it's the calibre of player. I think if you put him in a better pedigree of player,
he needs his old mate, Gylfi.
I think he does.
Gylfi Sigurdsson.
I don't think he's a striker.
No, he's in the second.
He's definitely not a striker. And the amount of people this season we've played out of position as strikers: Antonio, Ayew, Galeri, people that ain't really strikers. Snodgrass has played there, you know what I mean? It just shows you the need we
need a striker. We need 2 strikers.
I think we need 3.
Yeah.
4.
Just get 8. just
have 8. Team of strikers.
Do you not just wish though the board would just see what we all see and invest a big bit of their money for the future of our club and our players? Take that big gamble, because I tell you now, if they make that gamble, it's gonna produce so much more. They're going to have more fans, which is what they want, more customers. Do you know what I mean? They're going to get more exposure, if they spend more money and just take that leap to the next level.
You've got to spend to make.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To accumulate, haven't you? You've got to speculate to accumulate.
Yeah.
And if you don't, and they don't do, and last year, Tom will tell you on the figures, when Tom goes through the figures, you know what I mean, they didn't spend nothing last year, really. You know what I mean? All these deals here, there and everywhere. But they need to put the money out, and they need to spend some money, and you speculate, and they'll get all what they want. If they want us to be up there, they'll get that. And they'll get that, then they can flog us.
Do you know what? I don't even think it's necessary about spending money. I think it's like literally identifying a player, regardless of his price. Yeah, if they reckon they've got all this money, what does it matter if he's worth 50 million quid? They reckon they've got it, right? But instead of just going right, go and get him. Yeah. Before anyone else goes, you go first and all this. But they don't. They go, we're going to go and get Andre Lacazette, everyone, we're going to go and get Andre Lacazette.
Who's Andre Lacazette?
What, is that his name?
Alexander Lacazette.
Well, whatever his fucking name. We're going to go and get him. We're going to go and get Lacazette. Right, everyone, we're going to go and get Lacazette. Lacazette goes, fuck off. Who are you? Do you know what I mean?
I'm David Sullivan.
yeah, but no, they go, it's just fuck off. Who are you? And they go,
the thing is,
we're going to go and get Becker.
We need to
Carlos
stop.
Becker.
But Nick, they do that because they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They know some other cunt's going to come in.
Yeah, of course. Because
So
they don't
give
want to
it all
buy
that, and they don't want them.
They don't want them. Yeah.
It's all mad.
At the end of the day, when Leon turned around and said, all right, they can say all that they want about Lacazette, saying, oh, I want Champions League football. Money talks.
Yeah.
They'd have offered him enough money, he would have come.
Well, Batshuayi proved that, didn't he? He wanted Champions League football, and he went to Chelsea, and they weren't even in Europe.
Yeah, exactly, right? So money talks, right? You offer them enough money. They went up, we'll give you 40 million. No, we want 50 million. All right, we'll give you 45. No, we want 50. No, we give you 47. We want 50. We tried. We tried our hardest.
It's one of them, just go in and just play it.
So as soon as they said we want 50 million, they go, right, there's 50 million. Let us at least get him in a room, right? Yeah. I'm not saying he would have ever come here, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah. We tried. Becker. What happened to Becker? They give him 3 deadlines to decide whether he wanted to come. Was it? I don't even know whether an offer was even on the table. Really, I really don't.
We just need to stop punching above our weight with some of these players we're after. Like when you see players like Benteke going to Palace. No disrespect to Palace, but you know we should be signing players like that. They're the sort of players we need to be aiming for, not like going straight to the top. Lacazette is a class player. He wants Champions League football. Can't blame him. He wants to play at the top, like all players do.
I don't think that was the major issue. I just don't think they got into a position where they could talk to him.
And one thing they need to do as well is they need to let Bilic, if he's going to be in charge, they need to let him pick his players, not David Sullivan signings who he sees he can get on the cheap. The manager should always get the final say on who we sign. I don't care.
We was in a room last week. Said about asked him a question. Remember that about Croatians? How many Croatians have? And he left out Jelavic. He said 6, and there was 7 or something, or 5 when there was 6.
I didn't buy him, did he?
Yeah, and he turned around and said, "How can you miss out Jelavic? He was your latest signing. He went to the chairman signing. I never signed him. You know what I mean? That is wrong.
Yeah.
You can't just.
That's how it is at our club now, isn't it? You know what I mean? He don't make half signings.
Do you think he'd be in charge though, Bilic? To me, it looked like he was saying goodbye.
Do you know what?
At the end.
For me, honestly, I was speaking to a few boys outside, and I actually think that was his.
Honestly, looked like saying goodbye at the end.
Yeah.
I don't want that, mate. I'm a supporter of Bilic. I think he's a great manager. I think he hasn't been given a proper chance. But we've got a shitball behind us who are pushing him in the wrong direction.
It was always going to be tough for Bilic after last season. You know, it was a great season last year.
It should have been tough. It should have gone, here you go, son. There's a couple of extra million quids. Spend that. Spend it, not me.
Not getting, 13 signings that half of them. Where's what happened to the goddamn tour?
Well, he's been injured all season.
Yeah.
He's only on loan apparently as well, and he's gone. I mean, you're never going to see him again. I think he played 3. He's cost us millions, and he's played 3 or 4 times. It's an absolute pathetic joke.
He's a Turkish Kieran Dyer.
You've got Gökhan Tor. You've got who apparently cost us £5 million in loan fees. You've got Simone Zaza again.
Shouldn't the manager though buy all the players, not the board?
Of course. Should have final say on everything.
They keep throwing Sacco at us. I think goal got Sacco or whatever, and they keep throwing that crap. I think the ball played.
I think the ball can identify players a bit. Say, look, that player's out there.
Well,
if you want him,
listen. If he wants to identify to me about what's the best bra and knickers, I'll listen to the cunt. But if he wants to tell me about a player, he ain't got a clue.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I 100% agree.
Money-wise, here's 50 million. Go and buy him.
Yeah, no. I'm fair play with that. Give him the money.
I'm not saying David Sullivan's out scouting them.
No, but he is, though, isn't he?
That's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
trouble.
Yeah, I know.
He's going out.
Talking about Brian Knickers, he's saying, yeah, I want to go shopping. What's that?
Well, David
what's that
he does own
you can go
Summers,
shopping.
though.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's
That's what I mean. I'll listen to him.
Yeah.
If he wants to talk about Brian Knickers, I'll listen to him. But he wants to talk about centre forwards who are going to bang me 30 goals a season, I'll listen to him then. But I'll listen to Bilic before I listen to him.
Managers and scouts, they're the ones that should be identifying players. That's what we employ scouts for.
That's the whole point. And the trouble is with football today is these bloody chairmans, and it's not just us. Palace had that dickhead with a fucking perm.
Oh, what's his name? Jordan. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking
Getting
hell.
involved in buying players. They ain't got a clue. They ain't got a Scooby. Leave it to the managers who have an idea of what they're looking for. And it pains me, but I honestly think Bilic, he's a top man, and he's an individual, and he's so outspoken and stuff. But I do think he's persuaded that he's bought these players and he's told, you've got these players, you've got to play them. These are the players who are playing, and that's it. We bought Sacco, you're playing him. You know, well, he ain't got to play him, but is they're in their squad, and he's not bought them. And I don't think a manager has to buy the players for me, not a director of football, not a chairman. Do you know what I mean?
They like the idea, Nick, of going out, finding a player like Sacco, that's £3 million.
Yeah, Lanzini.
Who got Payet? Did they get Payet?
Yeah, probably.
He had the statistics though, didn't he? He had the statistics beforehand.
Okay, so they like doing that, getting them on the cheap, and then all of a sudden someone's going, oh, 15 million quid for him, 15 million quid for that, and they like that. That's what they really like. You know what I mean? Is that running out? How long?
We got 12 minutes.
Okay. 12 minutes then, boys. And that's what they really like. And they like the thought of that, and then they go, oh, they're not going. Look at Payet. Payet, let's talk a little bit about Payet, because I've got to have a little chuckle about him today. He didn't get in the Monaco squad the Marseille squad last night.
I thought was he not injured?
No, fully fit, apparently.
The fans are turned on him.
Fans are turned on him already. Lip pudding.
With the Pint situation, he was a naughty boy.
Yeah,
he was over here and he was a naughty. We all know he was a naughty boy. Yeah, and he left the wrong way. He was ill-advised. If he turned around and said, "I've caught with my trousers down, and I'm getting spanked off the old missus," we'd have took that and we'd have let him go with grace. So I ain't holding on to him now. I like the man, mate. Let him go. He's gone now. You know what I mean?
He gave us some good memories.
He was brilliant.
You know what I mean?
You watched the 15-16 season review.
He was part of a special season, and we need a special player.
You buy that anywhere? I don't think you can buy that 15.
No, I've got.
Okay, now, yeah.
Crossstandards.com.
.com.
But no, but if you look, he you know what I mean? He did the business, didn't he? You know what I mean? He was a naughty boy and he's a bit of an idiot. You know what I mean? So he went the wrong way. But why do we keep going on about him, mate? He was great. He was a great player.
Sour grapes.
So that's all it is.
We ain't got no one like him, mate. And we won't have anyone like him.
But do you know what I feel though? I feel we have pushed that now on the shoulders of Lanzini.
And he's took to it.
Yeah,
since Payet's left, he's really stood up.
But I don't want him to break my heart. You know what I mean?
Well, this is what we're saying. The cab coming up here, the car coming up here. He's just been called up to the Argentina squad. You know, as Lanzini, goes to his head a bit. You've got a lot of clubs going to want to come in for him.
Lanzini can play for some of the top clubs in Europe.
He can play for a top 4 club over here.
I don't even think about over here. I think he'll really accelerate in Spain or Italy. Yeah. Honestly, I really think
some of his touches today. Some of
the way he just turns players.
The quickness of his feet.
He can play for Barcelona, I think, definitely, 100%. And we'd be lucky. if he's here.
He reminds me a bit of. He's not as good, but he reminds me a bit of David Silva.
A little bit.
He's got that sort of. He's that sort of building. He just sort of glide on the board. Sort of players, and
but you got to think.
But you got to build around him.
But you got. Yeah, that's right. You have got to build. If they don't build this year, he won't be here next. That's for sure.
He might have one more year. You think, you know what? This is a bit like Payet's situation. I'm fed up with this. Do you know what I mean? Fighting down the bottom of the table all the time. They promised me ambition. They promised me players that when they can actually maybe challenge the 7th next year.
Do you think Antonio would have signed if we hadn't promised some decent signings? Do you know what I mean? Do you think he would have signed, Antonio?
No, I do.
You do?
I do. I actually think Antonio's happy here.
Yeah.
You see it on his face. The boy's happy as Larry. You see in his interviews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's having a laugh.
I
He
like
enjoys
him.
himself.
He's
doesn't
different, isn't he? He's not like your natural footballer. He seems to have a laugh and a
Yeah.
joke, and
Yeah, he's enjoying himself,
yeah,
isn't
and he's got the. You know, everyone loves him. The fans love him. He's scoring goals. He's a good player. He's getting England squad next season, no doubt.
What was that interview? We had an interview and he was pissed off that Ginger Pele
got performance of the year.
And he had a better game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what we all want.
I put you right.
I want someone who wants to.
Yeah, he wants
he's like,
all the awards.
I don't give a monkeys. He want it. I want it.
Yeah.
Right, we've got to wrap it up now
You know.
because the time's going really quickly on the
Second goal.
camera. Second goal. I mean, one of the worst goals I've seen all season.
no,
to
it
be
was-
quite
Was it
honest.
off the crossbar? Was it?
Yeah, he saved it. It went up,
come down,
come
hit the
off the
crossbar.
crossbar on Ayu's head, and he knocked it.
Yeah, if he'd have missed that, mate, he'd have gone in the summer.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us this season on West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. I can't thank you all enough. We'll do the thank yous. We've got content coming over all summer, so we'll do the thank yous then.
Thank you, boys. Do you know what I mean? Because if it weren't for you boys, we wouldn't get our say. Do you know what I mean? And me and Tom, especially as well, we've been coming here years and years before they even started this. And I tell you now, thank these two. You know what I mean? And Scotty and Graham.
And Dan.
Yeah, and Dan.
So thank you very much.
Mate.
Follow us, facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV, Twitter at West Ham Fan TV, crossdammers.com.
Crossdammers.com.
Go to that, and that's a great website. And boys, one thing left to say: last time this season,
Come on,
Come on,
guys.
guys.